The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble, episode 146, Darby Anarchy, reviewing the May 15th, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can, and to do that, I am joined by the man of 54,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms every Thursday of AEW, Dynamite, and Tony Khan, the one and only Jimmy Macram.
Hello, ladies and gents. How the hell are you? Hope things are going fucking swell. How was that? That positive? Yeah, you positive at the gate.
That was so positive in comparison to the story you told me before we went live.
I'm okay. I've recovered.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you made it. You're here this week. That could have went so much worse. You're gonna. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have people in the comments being like, "What's the story?" But yes, we're here to review AEW Dynamite from May 15th, 2024. We appreciate y'all if you are joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is to drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family, whether you're watching it on Facebook, or YouTube, or Twitter. And of course, you want to sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you if you're watching on any of those platforms. But most of all, if you're watching us on YouTube, you could send a super chat donation. That is also important to what we do here. We are a self-funded channel. Everything goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. So we always appreciate the support. And of course, if you're new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, what did you say?
I said even though some of them don't deserve it. No names, not gonna mention any names. Guess amongst yourselves. You know some of y'all shouldn't be here.
That's fair. That is fair. But yes, we are here to talk about AEW Dynamite. So, of course, hit that subscribe button. We're here every Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, the best AEW Dynamite review in the land. So we appreciate y'all for joining us, whether it's on demand, whether it's live. We appreciate y'all. But Jimmy Macram, another week of Dynamite in the books. And I would say this was probably, like I put out on Twitter off of, the True Heel Heat post of our show. I said, will this be the first week in quite some time that we agree that this was a quality show? Because it seemed like our interactions during the show were a lot more positive than it has been the past, I would say, a month and a half.
Yeah. I don't think I've given him an 8 since WrestleMania at the very least. this might be it. We might be able to. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes I get reminded of some shit that made me sick, but we'll see how it goes.
We tend to do that. If something really upset us in the show, going over it makes us more upset. It seems.
Right? This motherfucker.
Like, oh my god, you reminded me of how bad. Like, I just had a conversation with Sean Rossap because it was like a picture of a car that says like season 1 is like this, season 2 is the pretty part, and season 3 is the crap part. And it was like a post like that, and it was like, name the TV show that's like that. And Sean Rossap said Ozark. He was like, the first 3 seasons were exceptional, and then season 4 was terrible. And I was like,
where's the finale?
You're so right. I was like, for me, season 4 part 2 sucked. It just dragged everything out. And then he reminded me, his comment to me after I said, yeah, the first part was okay with Ruth's Revenge, but the second part felt like a drag. And he reminded me of why the second part sucked. The car crash at the beginning of the season. We never got the payoff. Yo, there is
no payoff. It's just a car crash. I was so annoyed. Oh, everybody's fine? All right. I guess. All right.
Like, it's to the point that I don't even remember like them coming out the hospital. Like, I feel like it wasn't even talked about. Like, I felt like I just erased it from my head if they even acknowledged it in part 2.
Why would you put that on the open? You're just letting us know that all 4 of them live up until a certain point. A terrible idea. Yeah, season 4 is not a great season for me.
But, and then it ends on a whimper with the freaking PI getting killed by Jonah. The fuck?
I love that. Now these niggas think it's stupid. I told them niggas it was stupid then, and they told me I was crazy.
You did, but like sometimes you need a couple of months afterwards to be like, all right, yeah, you were right. They probably was stupid. Like, you know, like in the moment, you're like, okay, let me try to accept this. Let me try to accept this and see the good in this. Jonah is fully embracing his family, embracing the family business, but that's not how you end Ozark as a show.
No, it felt like there's another season supposed to happen. Listen, it was a great show, though. I will say this. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Wendy and Marty are all-time, and Ruth, all-time great characters to me. They're on the list of mine somewhere. Yeah,
you saw me this week. I messaged you immediately. I popped out for Ruth being the female Silver Surfer in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. I'm a fan of hers from now on. Anytime I see her, I try to support her. I've seen her in other like Netflix movies that I've like watched and stuff like that. I try to support her, but I got excited because it was her, and then they said Darius from Atlanta might be in it as well. So I was like, oh yeah, gotta watch that.
We'll see how it goes. Marvel's let me down. I was going to say several times. They've let me down every time with the Fantastic Four. There's been once where I've enjoyed it.
That is true. I think that this is going to be. I'm hoping because of the actors. I think the cast is well cast. Yeah, it's a great cast already. So I have more faith in it, and especially after X-Men 97. I hopefully, even though Bo DeMayo, I'm like after finishing the whole season 1, I'm like, what the fuck did Bo DeMayo do? Like Bo DeMayo just created one of the best animated series in like 20 years, and he got fired before the first episode dropped. What the fuck did he do?
Oh, that guy, right? Some awful.
It had to be. It's I think that is something that he wrote in season 2, maybe. That they have now scrapped and like have to do something else. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. But we got in our chat with us today, G Loke, who says, what it do at True Heat Maine. So much to talk about. So let's get to it. Smash up the like. We always appreciate you, G Loke. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. We got Eric Isaacs in the chat who says, good afternoon, homies. Looks like Buddy's using Edge's wedding ring to purpose to Rhea and don't mess with Willow. Yo, there was like really good angles on this show. And I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference of why I enjoyed this show more than others, that it felt like the last couple of weeks there wasn't a lot of good angles to build to Double or Nothing, but this week they like put all the good angles, like the best angles of the build to Double or Nothing were all in this week. It feels like.
Really? really don't remember the show. Remember the opening tag match? I remember no Orange Cassidy this week, right? Am I correct?
No Orange. Yeah.
That
No
stuck out for me. I was like, fucking thank you. Just a little break. Just a little break, please.
And I was going to talk about it with the opening matchup. How they booked the opening matchup was legitimately, I think, to please you. Because if you looked at the opening matchup, this nigga Kyle Fletcher didn't get any offense unless Jeff Cobb set him up for it. Like it was like I was watching the matchup. I'm watching the matchup. I'm like, did Jimmy book this match? Did he was he the producer for this match?
Yes. What are we here for? Let's get out of here. Kyle Fletcher. Serious business.
We got Alexander in the chat who says the internet wrestling community needs a locker room leader. Twitter is a mess. I will take on the honor of being the locker room leader of the internet wrestling community.
I'm sure nothing can go wrong.
We got a super chat donation here from Alexander Fitzgerald. We appreciate you for the support. As always, guys, you are the best.
Listen up, you prick.
Alexander says Shibata saying to Samoa Joe he was too large to be wearing a floral pattern shirt was hilarious. Shibata's phone is the best character in wrestling. I can't believe
it is cute.
I haven't seen a Japanese character be enhanced more by a prop than Shibata with the phone trick.
It is, though. Another big match he's about to lose. Let's get to that. It's fucking worthless. What are we doing?
I'll be honest. I enjoyed Shibata's match with Jericho a lot more than any of the Hook Jericho matches.
Ooh.
So, I mean, if I was booking it, I would have Shibata win. Honest, that's just me. Maybe.
I love that. What? Turn on Hook. Huh?
No, I love Hook. But I'm just saying, I think Shibata's had better matches with Jericho. Yeah, Jacob. Yeah. Jacob says, not gonna lie, I never loved Ozark. As far as crime shows go, it's just fine. I always viewed Ozark as like a white adjacent power. But
as a
power, all power is the Black Sopranos.
That's probably it's not a terrible comparison. Listen, as far as a crime show goes, it's fine, but it's brilliant just like its characters. Like once you fucking either hate or love to hate Wendy, for me it's just love.
It's love.
And Maury
love for me too.
and the rest of them, you just enjoy watching them get into ridiculous scenarios. Yeah, preposterous scenarios. Namely by the boss who fucking has these insane requests every fucking week. Hey, Martin, you should do this. How long is it going to take? Oh, it's going to take like 3 weeks. You have 12 hours, Marty. What?
The way he says it, you have 12 hours. He says it so low and stuff. Darlene is another character.
Darlene's great.
A shot. She was so great. So great. We got Big Man Dogs who says that was me when Jimmy turned on Jay for half a week.
Just like, nah, I get it. Listen. It's a great character. It just doesn't fit in the story. And it ruined everything they did. It's a goddamn shame. I won't say everything, but enough. It ruined enough of it.
It fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line, So it's okay. Power Driver Finisher says it's gonna be as good as the Eternals. It took me like 3 tries to watch the Eternals. I fell asleep the first.
Really hated that movie. I love that.
I just thought it was a bore. I just thought it was a bore. I didn't really hate the movie. I think that is the most boring Marvel movie because I think that it's a good series that's trapped in a movie.
I agree. Like this, I wouldn't say it's bad. It is boring. It is very boring. Like it's gorgeous, by the way. It's a gorgeous movie. But it's a bore. Holy shit. Yawn.
And we got another super chat donation from the main man, Will Chisholm.
Nope.
Thank you so much. The GOAT, Will Chisholm. We appreciate you, good sir, as always. And here's MJF to say.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Will says, I love to know how Jimmy feels about the Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill stuff. I bet Swerve was like, I see no problem. LOL. Basically, what happened was Tiffany Stratton posted a video from her multi-woman tag team matchup on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago in Lyon, France, when she gave Jade Cargill a forearm and knocked her off the apron. But she added basically from like a reality show where someone like hit somebody and said, "You black bitch." And she posted that on her social media. It immediately got heat and people calling her racist, and she had to take it down. And yeah,
She has to apologize.
I don't know if she's apologized as of yet.
Okay,
That's
good. You
as
ain't gotta
far as I
apologize.
know about the situation here.
Tried to get too cute. Is it a big deal? I mean, for Twitter, for the next, I don't know, 20 minutes, I will only get upset. But for the rest of us, listen, it's not the greatest look in the world. But you did post it in front of God knows how many people. It means you're probably not a racist, you're just an idiot. I love Tiffany Stratton. She's fantastic. It's just not, you didn't think it all the way through. Almost.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I got to cost her a fucking match. I really want her to fucking win. God damn it. Oh, well. That's a shame.
He said that's why she lost that match in Lyon. They knew she was going to post that. They knew it. McMahon Dogs, since the ratings were interesting last week, the key depot kept growing until the sixth quarter. It was higher than when the show started, aside from the beginning of Trent versus Road Warrior. I love that. That's what we're calling Orange after that display last week.
That's hilarious.
Road Warrior Orange.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Big Bang Open the last month or so. They've been opening like where the show usually is, 780 something instead of 9, whatever the fuck they get, because they never start the show on time. I'm not sure what the deal with that is.
What? Why they want to start the show at like 8:01?
Yeah, like, but why is the ratings like showing it properly these days instead of the way it was before?
I don't know. Maybe they adjusted something. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe.
Happy birthday to Hassan's niece. Thanks for joining us in the chat today, Hassan. I will always say happy birthday to the Taurus babies, and happy birthday to my nephew whose birthday is today. And we got Will Chisholm in the chat with another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Will, once again.
Weapon in hand, too. And Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Kenny as long as they can. Hangman's going to come out here.
Oh.
Will says, I hate how the Denver Nuggets made us all look OD dumb for me saying it's gonna be a sweep. I said T-Wolves in 5, but I knew.
Oh shit!
I knew that the Nuggets were gonna come back, but I was like, T-Wolves in 5. Let me troll the Nuggets fans because they were losing in game 1.
After those first 2 games, I don't say I was nervous, but definitely concerned. You lose 2 at home. Come on, man. But hey, get the best player in the world.
Especially how they lost game 2.
Yeah, I just felt like, oh no, they have no answer. Turns out the answer is the best player in the world. That's per usual. It's typically the answer. All these things go.
40 and 17 in the last game.
What are we even doing?
Jesus. We got Alexander who says Jim Cornette enjoyed the video. Talking about the Tiffany Stratton one. Big Red Dog says, I guess people stop watching Big Bang, so the ratings are actually ebb and flow now. Yeah.
Okay. You just started fucking what? They just realized it's been on for fucking a decade?
Maybe they realized that the other show with Sheldon is about to end, and they are probably watching that now. Young Sheldon instead of Big Bang.
Oh, nice.
Hey, that's just there's got to be some type of explanation to it, but who knows? But let's continue. Let's talk about this show, AEW Dynamite. Last night's show, I believe, took place from Everett, Washington. I really liked the crowd last night. What about you?
I did too. They were appropriately loud.
felt like an AEW crowd, and it seems like that every single time they are in like Seattle, the Washington area. They get really good crowds because that was where they were at for Wrestle Dream last year, and the first show of 2023 was also in Seattle. But yeah, they always are a good crowd, and they were a good crowd here in Everett. The show started off hot. We come on air with a cold open as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley is making his way to the ring, but just as he's in the crowd getting ready, Jeff Cobb and Kyle Fletcher are already in the ring for the opening contest. Excalibur welcomes us, and then the Don Callis or former United Empire duo attack Jon Moxley, leading to Washington's own Bryan Danielson's music hitting, and he sprints out from the back to even the sides. I love how the opening, like, 2 to 3 minutes of this matchup, they basically did like a preview of Anarchy in the Arena with Bryan's song playing as they just kept brawling around the ringside area. Really gave us kind of a chaotic start to this matchup that I rather enjoyed and got invested into the matchup following it. The crowd was loudly behind Moxley and Danielson for obvious reasons. But this match was really well done. I like how the story of the matchup, how Jeff Cobb was really the person that Moxley and Bryan were really competing with here. Fletcher did well for his role, and I feel like Fletcher is always better in tag team matches because he is a tag team specialist, but I felt like Cobb was the standout for the heel team because his power just changed the whole trajectory of the matchup at different times. I love the spin cycle on Bryan out of nowhere when he was about to hit the Psycho knee. We get a Doomsday device attempt late in the matchup by the heels, but Bryan Danielson is able to cut it off. He hits a Psycho knee on Jeff Cobb. Meanwhile, Kyle Fletcher comes off the top rope right into Jon Moxley, who kicks him in the stomach, hits the elevated Death Rider for the victory here. The Blackpool Combat Club win this very fun opener to the show as they are celebrating. Out of nowhere comes Konosuke Takeshita. He comes behind Jon Moxley and gives him a sick-looking German suplex out of the corner. He and Danielson were beat down by the Don Callis family until Claudio Castagnoli came down with a huge-looking crowbar in his hand. Takeshita signals that he is coming for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Meanwhile, the BCC recover in the ring. I thought this was a fun opener to the show, and the post-match further develops this ongoing Blackpool Combat Club versus Don Callis family rivalry that's been brewing the past couple of months here. What did you think?
Group. Look at that fucking group. It's not what the group's supposed to be about. That's not supposed to be the BCC, the three old niggas. That's not supposed to be the group.
They gotta recruit someone new because of I don't know if you heard the update on Wheeler Yuta. He's apparently been out with a concussion. And it's serious. He's been out 4 months with a concussion. That's never good.
Yeah. Anytime stuff with your brain. No, that's concerning. Anyway.
Exactly. I know it's like too little too late, but he's the only person that makes sense.
Yeah. What? Always in the group. I mean,
that too. I think that's what we're leading to with I told you, I think I messaged you on Saturday when I was watching Collision, how Claudio walked out on Bryan during his post-match interview when he was talking about Anarchy in the Arena after they beat Top Flight on Collision. And then later in the night, Claudio said that he basically doesn't agree with Bryan agreeing to this Anarchy in the Arena. And it's the match that almost ended his career. And if he's going to do that, why would you team with the same guy that you got injured in the match with in Eddie Kingston? Why are you going against the Elite again? We did that last year. He's so fed up with Bryan being involved in this Anarchy in the Arena match.
I'm not mad at least a match or 2 or 3. But this match was fine. Kyle Fletcher was painless, essentially. I'm not sure why I act like I hate Kyle Fletcher. It's because you all overrated him. I think that's probably what it is. He's as long as he's not giving 20 minutes by himself in the main event, he's fine. He's a good guy to have around. Half of a good tag team.
Having a good tag team. I love it. Got some new faces in the chat. We got Nick who says, "What's up?" We also got a big Knicks fan and Hugh J. Ness in the chat. I feel like that's Romeo's burner account, but hey, Knicks
That's
are the
hilarious.
Knicks are
Yeah. Knicks and oh god, ugh. I don't want to see that Knicks Boston series. That's gonna stink. But
why do you think it's gonna stink?
Boston is a pain. They stink. They are
They're
pain
too
to watch.
inconsistent. They're too
Yeah,
inconsistent.
it's just like, what's the plan? Well, just play 1-on-1 because Jason Tatum's better than most people.
It really feels like this is the year for the Knicks to make it back to the finals.
I mean, as far as it's gonna go, but this could be the year, right? I'm not mad at that. That could be
I'm
fun.
not mad at that, especially because their future is on lock. They got 7 draft picks in the next 2 years. Like they are
I'm silly.
some ridiculous. It's not OKC ridiculous, but it is a level of ridiculousness. We got Big Man Dogs. He says AEW opening with the world champion. I see.
I had the same thought, but what the fuck?
Can we all agree they've done better with Swerve since then? Like they kept it consistent again this week with the countdown clock to the Swerve segment.
So he has a countdown clock. There's that. So he's been upstaged by the Elite every week. We would agree, right? And he's been upstaged by Moxley at least 2 weeks. Come on, man. The world champion.
Hey, he is somewhat feuding with the Elite. He's gonna be involved in the top program soon after Double or Nothing, probably. I don't know. Hey, no bets here. We also got Alexander. Alexander says the shut the F up chance to Malachi Black was wild. This crowd was great. Says Alexander. We also got Power Driver Finisher who says I was hoping to see a tour of the island. We also got Alexander who says I hope Anarchy in the Arena. Jack Perry plays Cry Me a River during the match.
What was I gonna say? The world is turning back to its appropriate axis because there was CM Punk chance here, and I, who gave Jack Perry a compliment last week. Good Lord, I'm glad he woke me the fuck up. I'm glad he decided I'm not gonna be too good too often because he was good last week. He was ass this week. I was like, holy shit! Give Matt the mic back. Fuck it. We gave it a shot. Give it back to Matt Jackson.
Give the mic back. Wow.
What the fuck, sir?
Nancy Grill, this is really good tag match. Can't wait to watch Double or Nothing and Forbidden Door 3. And then we also got a super chat donation once again from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much again, Will. We appreciate all the support as always.
But don't push me. That's Tupac.
Will says Triple H told Tiffany, I'm not Vince. I like gothic muscle women and Japanese. You know we got Julia coming in. I'll fast track her and give her your put. So act right. Oh shit.
Don't say this to me. Don't say this to me. It feels rough. Was it that bad?
Like I mean, you said like, oh, was it the video why she didn't win at Backlash? I think it might have been the video why her Queen of the Ring match got pulled to the fucking house show.
By the way, Triple H is fucking up. Listen, I know Raw was good, and the week before that, Raw was good. But SmackDown, just because it's not 3 hours long, does not mean it needs to be treated like a whole bitch. And the only two reasons to watch SmackDown are fucking Tiffany Stratton and LA Knight, and you put both their matches on the line. You are an asshole.
It's the Bloodline. Come on, Bloodline's number 1. That would be 2 and 3.
Enough of the Bloodline. Enough of these people. Solo dressing these clothes that's too big for him. Sir, go to the tailor. You have money. All right, the Bloodline's fantastic.
Go to Roman's Taylor. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Go to Heyman's Taylor. Heyman's
he was good last night. Would you fucking stop it, friend world? He got some heat. He got some heat on him there, buddy. So what?
I won't front like I didn't laugh when he poured that drink on Shivani's head. That was fine. That felt like a violation. I don't know if that was planned or not.
What about all the minutes we had to wait up to them as he fucking tries to sound cool? He thinks that's what heels sound like. Oh, what the fuck happened? He needs to get punched in the face from Austin. That's the only time he can act. Ugh, Jesus.
Big Man Doug says they're not 2.5 men, they're 3.5, and they're 3.5 a man half men. We got S. Dot who says Anarchy in Arena SMH pandemic era was the last one they had a good. Well, last time they had a good one wasn't pandemic era. It was 2 years ago. That was after the pandemic. Was the first Anarchy in the Arena, which was objectively better than the second one, but the second one I thought was good. Stuck to the team and then just said nothing.
Take your word for it. They all blend together on me. I got nothing for you.
Yeah, that was Stadium Stampede. I thought. We got Asu says SP3, you will be mad if Mox faces Evil at Forbidden Door. No, they're doing that at Dominion, so I don't have to worry about that. So I was right with my prediction because I think Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio said that it's likely to be Naito versus Moxley at Forbidden Door, which I said that after Moxley won the title, that's the one that makes sense.
A little careful, Uncle Dave. Maybe he has a better hit percentage from New Japan, but let's be careful.
I know he is. The past year, Jesus.
Over.
Yeah, I'm like, dog, like, it's Sean Ross Sapp time. Like, bro, like, just pass the rock. Pass the rock. Like, Magic and Bird went through it when Jordan came in. Like, yo, you're not the GOAT anymore, Dave. Like,
Jesus,
that dude is the head of the wrestling media world now. Not you. Sorry. And I said it once. I'll say it again. The big thing that I hold against Dave Meltzer and a Wrestling Observer is the fact that they have no minorities.
Sister Soldier over here. Yeah,
they have no minorities. I'm sorry. Every big wrestling outlet has done their best to have some representation and some diversity. Wrestling Observer has not. The only thing black on Wrestling Observer is the microphones.
All right. So what?
That's it.
Why do you have to bring these Negroes in here? For what? Or bring these broads in here for what? So you can all fucking sweat? Tell me about wrestling? You all stink, regardless of your color. Sorry.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm in a mood today. It'll clear up, hopefully. Sorry. To anybody who listens to the Observer or fucking has opinions on things, shut up. Dave is hiring black people. How about he's bad at his job and he has been forever? What's that?
He hasn't been bad at his job forever to me. I know to you, but not to me. He hasn't always been bad at his job.
What did he give Michaels an angle?
That was bad.
Right.
4 3/4. 4 3/4.
He's having a stroke for 20 years.
Just like Michaels and Taker.
Jesus. Come on, man.
4 3/4. It's just like Cody and Roman. He gave Cody and Roman 4 3/4, then gave Cody and AJ 5 stars. It's just like, dude, don't do the star ratings anymore. Don't do the star ratings anymore because like you literally gave that one a higher star rating because the crowd was louder, and it's just like, dude, like and yes, the crowd is a part of the rating, but he values a loud crowd a lot more than I do for ratings.
If he likes the match, if it's Hogan Rock, he don't care how loud the crowd is.
That's also true. Will Chisholm says, I saw that Liv Morgan police tape and I was going to feel bad for her, but my black side was like, white woman, you still hot off better. You still got off better than we would. This is very true.
She certainly fucking did. If she wasn't attractive and young and white, she'd been in some deep shit.
And blonde.
Hey, listen, it worked out. I'm not mad at it. Good luck to you.
Yeah, it worked out for her. She's gonna be on. I mean, she's doing her best character work in quite some time right now. So, we got King Potato who says Mox should drop the title to someone at Forbidden Door. Naito taking it back would make sense. So he could hold it until Wrestle Kingdom and drop it to Yota Tsuji, my fantasy booking. I think Shoto Amino is going to be the guy who wins at Wrestle Kingdom, and that's why I think Moxley probably holds the title until then.
Jesus fucking Christ. Poor Swerve.
Yeah.
This is your
Alexander
call.
says the Wrestling Observer's motto is "Make wrestling great again."
I don't know what happened to Dave. Do they though?
Brandon.
But do they though?
I mean, man, yo, Kenny went in on this nigga though. You told me about the first time where he talked about the 5-star rating, but this dude went in on this last one where he said he broke Dave's brain with his God tier matches, and now he doesn't know what a real wrestling match is.
That is wild on so many different levels. First of all, saying you broke somebody's brain. Secondly, saying it was because of you being so awesome is wild.
Yo, I was like, this might be one of the greatest flexes on Dave Meltzer ever.
Yeah, it's a flex and a half. Jesus. But why turn on him? I mean, I agree with everything he's saying, but why is he saying this now?
I think Kenny don't give a fuck. Apparently, he wasn't supposed to say all that shit he said about Rossi on there, so he don't give a fuck.
He's just at home, bored.
He's just at home. He's recovering. He's like, I don't give a fuck. And he said on that same one, this is one of his last ones because he's about to get the surgery. So he's like,
ooh,
say whatever the fuck I want. So Dave, eat a dick.
Jesus, why though? You like Dave? Give you all those goofy ass stars.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. We got Alexander says Omega been winning fans over. He gone after Rossi and Meltzer.
Yeah,
I do agree with this, that Cat Williams has inspired everywhere this year. Like Kendrick Lamar, Kenny Omega. They love
it. Could be.
They love it. Mm-hmm.
Well, Kendrick's been waiting on Drake for forever.
What happened?
I said Kendrick's been waiting on Drake for forever.
Yeah.
I think he's hating for a long while.
Absolutely. I think he hated him after his response to the Controlverse 10 years ago.
Sassy about it.
He was. He's like, but you said hi to me. You said hi to me after. Like I thought you don't like me like that. Dude.
You see him talk to Elliot Wilson. He was like, I mean, it was a nice moment, but yeah, tell me how that verse starts. And he was like, oh, we don't remember how Control starts. He was like, see, I'm not really about that. I'm like, go ahead, Drake. Very sassy. You let him know, sir. Team Drake.
Absolutely, Louis. Rossi got a weird case. Why is he around? Boy, certified pedophile. Fancy Girl who says Kenny Omega saw what Kendrick did, and he was like, I'm gonna do the same thing. He was like, Kenny's got to stick together. We got King Potato says Kendrick hated him since at least 2015. Control came out in 2014.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while. Drake has tried to apologize several times in his Drake way.
Yeah,
Kendrick has acknowledged none of them, except the one where you take keep you congratulations. He doesn't fuck with you, sir. Sorry.
It's just that simple. Next was one of my favorite parts as far as like overall what I think AEW should be doing more often is we get a video package of Swerve and all of his media appearances since becoming AEW World Champion. We see highlights of him on different talk shows, speaking to different news outlets. It makes AEW feel like a big deal. They did the same thing with Mercedes on Collision where they showed her at courtside for the Boston Celtics game, showed her throwing out the opening pitch at the Red Sox game. Like, this is what you need more of. Like, anytime AEW does anything, and I criticized them for Swerve throwing out the first pitch in what was it before AEW Dynasty, and they showed no footage of that. So I'm gonna give them credit when they do take that advice and show that.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of common sense stuff here. I mean,
I know.
I'm glad it worked out. Drake won. Oh, stop it! Don't do this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
What happened? Who said that? Who's playing here?
That's not Jack.
Oh God, that's not Jack. He loves to be a contrarian at this point.
Some people just their first experience seeing their goat get cooked. Listen, I was how old was I? 11, 12 when Ether came out. I felt it.
We were like 14. We had to be like no, you're right. We were like 12, 13. Yeah, that was like 2001, 2002.
It hurts. And you go through all the stages of grief. You just have to admit, Hove took it down. Sorry.
But to be fair, Hove lost. Drake got embarrassed. Drake got his whole perception changed. If you thought Family Matters was good, anything
It
good
is. It's a
about
great track.
it's a great track. It's the best track that Drake did in this whole beef, but it had no effect on the beef because Kendrick dropped 20 minutes later.
Insanity. Damn, how you do that?
And the only way for Drake to have turned that around is if you did leak info like you said you did, you should immediately been like, this is the text message from the person in my crew that told Kendrick that I have an 11-year-old daughter, instead of a picture of yourself saying like, oh, where's my daughter at? Dude, that's not how you respond if you link the info. That's just not. That's just not how you respond.
It's an L. It's an L, however you want to frame that stuff. It is what it is.
I do agree with this though. King Potato says, when are they gonna open a fucking Dynamite with Swerve? I'm the biggest Mox fan, but even I can say how much exposure Mox is getting as IWGP champ on AEW TV is getting ridiculous.
Sorry, I distracted again. But
I know. I'm gonna highlight that now. That is outrageous. That is outrageous for someone who doesn't know after 20 years.
Come on, man. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Listen, they don't fuck with Swerve like that. A lot of you are going to come to this realization soon. It'll hurt, but you'll realize they don't fuck with him like that. By they, I mean Tony Khan. Only thing they have in common is they don't like black women. But other than that, he doesn't fuck with Swerve like that. Sorry. I don't really know what to tell you.
So yeah, Estot said Jay-Z lost? Question mark. What the fuck? LOL. I guess he'd never listened to hip hop, or he wasn't born in 2001. I don't know. Because that's the only way you would ask that question. And he also says, okay, K-Dot has no proof on anything he said either. LOL. They both capping. Yeah, that's the thing though, Estot. K-Dot never said that what anything Drake said was a lie after the fact. He said it was a lie before Drake started lying. He said you're a habitual liar and a master manipulator. So anything Drake said, a lot of K-Dot's fans wasn't going to believe him. And let's be real, K-Dot told the better lies. So he won.
He's got a very weird trait to this. He's got a very weird I don't call him a criminal because that's too much. There's no evidence of that. He doesn't have a very weird relationship with women on the younger side. I think there's a word for that. Girls. I think that's the term.
Yeah, and the thing is, Estot, yeah, K-Dot didn't have any proof on anything he said, but there was plenty of people that had proof on what K-Dot said, and there wasn't anything as far as what Drake said about K-Dot. That's the difference. But I know you want to argue, and I'm not going to go back and forth with you on this one. Like, you could just think what you want to think. I'm not here to.
Jay-Z said Jay-Z lost. You mad at me? Fucking Hove said it. How's it my fault? Sorry.
The crazy part. Oh, we got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. We appreciate the support.
They go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous, Sid.
Oh, I miss you, sir.
Will says Drake played himself when he name dropped Millie Bobby Brown himself. He told on himself when he said like that Heart Part 6 is easily the biggest L a rapper took on a response track ever. Like even worse than Super Ugly by Jay-Z responding to Ether.
Super Ugly is not a.
It's a freestyle. I know it's a freestyle. You muted yourself at the end. It's a freestyle, but it's not. It wasn't the right response to Ether. That's why he lost.
Oh, it certainly was not. But yeah, Drake. Let's see, he fucked up. I hope he's innocent of all these charges. Somebody said this was he's a godfather something. I forget. He has a reason for being there. A good reason, I don't know, but he does have a reason for being there.
All right, we did enough of our interlude about Beastie. Malachi Black was next to respond to Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland comes out first, and then the House of Black immediately attack him on stage. He's thrown to the ring where Buddy Matthews hits a big curb stomp on him. Brody King is throwing in some chairs. Meanwhile, Malachi Black is making his way to the ring. He picks up the TNT Championship and has a microphone in hand. King and Matthews hold up Copeland for Black as Black looks in his face, and he said he doesn't understand Copeland's facade of who he thinks he is. Black ordered Matthews to take Copeland's wedding ring off. I was like, oh shit, okay. This took a turn for the worse. King literally, Copeland's trying to fight off Matthews taking off the ring, so King has to choke him out, and we slowly see the life leaving Copeland's face as they take off the wedding ring. That was a great shot there, and the shot of Malachi looking at the ring like, my precious. He places the ring in his pocket and was about to deliver a double corner drop kick and senton combination, a triple three by House of Black with steel chairs, but Kyle O'Reilly comes down to the ring. He sprints down to try to make the save, but he's immediately taken out by Brody King with a big lariat. He throws him outside to the rest of the House of Black, where Black levels him with the end, the Black Mass kick, and then they get back on the ring apron and deliver a trifecta double drop kick cannonball combination with steel chairs. We never got an official answer from Black on what he wanted, as House of Black walked out, leaving Copeland and O'Reilly laying. But later on in the night, we did get our answer for what's going to happen with Malachi Black and whether Malachi Black accepted the challenge of Adam Copeland for Double or Nothing. Black was backstage staring at Copeland's wedding ring, saying that this was everything that has held Copeland back for so long. He says the barbed wire steel cage match means there's still that part of Copeland that still exists. So he accepts. But he says that when he wins, Copeland must bend a knee to the House of Black. I would say this was probably the most effective segment of the Copeland House of Black rivalry.
Definitely most focused for me.
Yeah, it got genuine heat on House of Black, and I like the story of him being like, your whole family is what's keeping you back from being the real you. I love that. He set that up with that great vignette that we complimented, I think it was last week, and then he delivered it here by taking the wedding ring as the symbol of who Copeland is now.
I will say, I think Edge's run has been a little underrated here. It's not a great run. I think it's actually a really good run. It's a really nice addendum to his career. Now, part of this is because I had to watch Mercedes run around and do nothing, but it's just been really solid, I must say. Malachi Black's always great and everything. Sorry.
I agree. 100% agree with you there. We got Power Driver Finisher. He says the most sense House of Black is
right? I think I understood that. I think that was English.
I love that. Power Driver Finisher. So Edge bet his wedding ring, and now he owes the house. He owes the house. Yo, that didn't look like a mob. A mob like taking like
take his ring.
Take his ring, Charlie.
Degenerate cocksucker.
And I do agree with you with your kind of assessment of Copeland's run, and I agree with Alexander here. I think that his current AEW run is better and seems more effective than once again I'm using that word, effective than his last run in WWE.
That's
his last run in WWE. They couldn't really. He wanted to be heel with Judgment Day, but they needed baby faces when Cody got injured, so they immediately scrapped that and had Judgment Day turn on him. And then him as a baby face, after like a couple of months, they had to like take him off TV to have him return to get babyface pops. It was just not as focused as this has been so far.
Agreed. And he just fits better here these days. He kind of gives off grizzled veteran vibes, and he looks a fucking mess. But in a good way. I mean that respectfully, sir.
I mean that respectfully, sir.
You look like a mess, respectfully.
He feels like Savage in WCW.
I assume this is the younger Savage. This is like 96.
94. 94.
94. Even younger.
When he came up.
I'm definitely not mad at that take. Yeah, you know what? That's a solid take.
We got next we had commentary recapping Eddie Kingston's potential serious leg injury at New Japan's Resurgence event from this past weekend in his match with Gabe Kidd. That was horrific, and I knew watching it live, I knew immediately. I was like, Eddie's not making it to Double or Nothing after that spot.
Jesus.
Did you saw the spot when they replayed it?
I did not.
Oh, he basically it was a no rope last man standing match, and Eddie set up the table for the final spot between the apron and the guardrail. But Eddie is a tall individual, so Gabe does a suplex from the ring into the table, and Eddie's left leg hits against the guardrail on impact.
Oh,
and he immediately starts holding his leg. I was like, "There's no way." 2 weeks you're going to be back in action.
God damn it. Oh, well. I hope he's all right. But yeah, you're not doing it. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. So we see the Young Bucks and Jack Perry attacking him after the matchup. The fact that Eddie basically dragged his ass into the ring for that angle, I got to give him credit, because I would have just been like, nah, let's scrap the angle. Like,
do we have a toughest wrestlers of all time list?
Foley's up there, obviously. Terry
Foley.
Funk.
I was about to say Funk. Foley. Those are kind of obvious ones. I don't know. Foley and Funk. I mean, just based off pure damage to your body, I think Flair might be up there.
Flair, yeah. Darby.
Oh,
already.
Darby. I think Darby
already.
Spike.
Spike Dudley, yeah.
Fucking Cody with the pack. I can't put him there before I put Triple H there. The fuck was always
and he always finished both matches. He finished both matches. He tore his quad off. Like,
that's wild. That's just what I wasn't watching at the time. Did he get burned? I heard with some fucking ice or some shit.
Yeah. I think that was one of the Elimination Chamber matches or something like that, or one of these. And then the first Elimination Chamber where Van Dam breaks his larynx, and then he continued the matchup.
I know y'all were mad at him hating RVD. I didn't, but yeah, I hate the nigga for the rest of my life too. Absolutely.
Come on, he hated him before that. Before that, he squashed him.
Yeah, he's an irresponsible pothead, and then he breaks my larynx. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm glad I had you all wrong. What?
Yeah, man. That's not. I can only imagine if I was there live. I would have been having PTSD if I was there live for that spot with Eddie. Like, Jesus, like how hard his leg hit that guardrail was ridiculous. But we see the Young Bucks and Jack Perry talking about the beatdown afterwards, and then we go backstage on Dynamite to the Elite. They say that Eddie Kingston must have been hit by the injury bug, as Jack Perry said that it might be 4-on-3 now in Anarchy in the Arena. The graphic shows Eddie has been removed from the matchup, and then we get Okada, who blows a kiss to Dax Harwood and tells him that I will destroy you. Wah, bitch. And then they also did a commercial for the Young Bucks Reebok shoes with Okada handing the Bucks the shoes, and then they zoom in on Okada with his big smile, and then they have the little glare, the bling, the thing. I'm sorry, Okada might be the best out of all these sightings. Out of all these sightings for me, I'm sorry, I like this new Okada the best.
Stop it. Over Osprey, knock it off.
I love Osprey, and I loved him on this show, but I'm just saying I get more joy out of this Okada character because it's just so not what he was. Like, this is still Will. This is still the Will from New Japan, still the Will that I saw in the UK independent scene. This is not the Okada that I saw for nearly 2 decades in New Japan.
Yeah, he's retired. Just here hanging out. Did all that hard work. I did the grind. I'm over that shit. Time to get paid.
I'm getting paid now. Since Okada's the best as power driver finisher. We also got King Potato who says heel Okada is the best. And we got another super chat donation from the good brother Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. Always
I'm
appreciate
serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
I think Will says, go get Count Stone Cold when Owen broke his neck. Oh, he says, put down Stone Cold when Owen broke his neck and when he wrestled The Rock in their final Mania match in the night before he was in the hospital about to die. Yeah, Austin deserves to be on that list.
Austin's in there somewhere. You're right.
Yeah. I won't. I mean, the fact that he came back from Owen breaking his neck the way he did, I'm not going to give him credit for how he finished the matchup, though. Like I gave credit to Triple H for finishing the match with.
No, not quite the same thing.
Because that was the worst roll up in wrestling history.
It's like, yo, I'm about to die.
Next we hear from FTR with Renee Paquette. They talk about being down a man in Anarchy in the Arena. Wheeler said that the Elite might think it'll be 4-on-3, but they believe they found a fourth guy for the matchup. As Harwood said, it appears Okada is the Elite's bitch, and we're told that tonight's main event will be Okada versus Harwood. What did you think about the promo from FTR here?
I forgot how good FTR is when it comes to talking. And they're not fucking soft shoeing me, whatever the fuck the word for it is. Fucking busting it open for Tony Khan. They get a really good promo. When did this happen? Somebody explain the breakdown of this?
What?
I mean, whatever. It's not. When did they become such? I won't say they. It's mostly Dax. When did he become such a? It's a nice way of putting it. What's the white version of an Uncle Tom? Just a tap dancing ass nigga. When did he become this guy? Oh well, whatever. Get paid, I guess.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I love AEW. I love working here. Nigga, get a room. Why am I here for this shit? Ugh.
Yeah, bootlicker would be the correct terminology.
Thank you, sir. Bootlicker. Kissing up to the
Bootlicker.
suits. Fuck.
We got next up the Young Bucks in action. They're going up against Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal in an AEW World Tag Team Title Eliminator matchup. Daniels and Sydal set up for this matchup after Daniels got involved in last week's pull apart brawl with Team AEW, putting his hands on Matthew Jackson. Jack Perry joined the commentary team at the table as Danielson had new music, which was performed by Frankie Kazarian's band, which we haven't heard Frankie's name on this show in a while. Excalibur pointed out the last time Daniels faced the Bucks, it was when SCU were forced to disband as a team. Sydal and Nicholas start off the matchup with Sydal firing off leg strikes and showing off his speed, but then Matthew and Daniels are brought into the matchup. They have a little back and forth talking with each other before Daniels and Sydal were able to showcase some double team offense on the Bucks. Nicholas Jackson was able to get the blind tag to give the Bucks the advantage in the matchup. The Bucks came crashing into each other after a hot tag is made to Daniels. Daniels ultimately eats a super kick from the Bucks as Sydal was launched over the barricade by Matthew. Daniels cut off Nicholas in the corner and wanted a Hurricane Rana, but Matthew held on to his brother's leg. Daniels went crashing and burning, which set up the Bucks to hit the Tony Khan driver for the the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory here. Post-match, the Bucks took the microphone on stage and talked about Daniels putting his hands on Matthew last week. He says that they are trying to get rid of all the toxicity in the locker room, and Daniels is trying to ruin it. Tonight, they're the bearer of bad news, and they have no choice but to let Daniels go, and he's fired. They told him not to worry. They'll take care of his family, paying him for 30 days before providing a security escort, thanking him for his 5 years of service. Meanwhile, Jack Perry is at the commentary table, raising a drink to the Bucks and their victory and their decision to fire Daniels, when he all of a sudden starts pouring the Woo energy drink over Tony Schiavone's head, who dejectedly called Perry a son of a bitch, whilst Taz was uproaringly laughing at Tony Schiavone here. What did you think about the Bucks versus Daniels and Sydal? I thought the match was solid, and I thought the post-match with the firing of Daniels, it was a nice little progression for this part of the story, even though I feel like it sets up, if they do want to do like an eventual authority figure, it probably sets up Daniels being that authority figure, which I don't know if that's a good thing.
It certainly is not. Fuck it. I gotta be honest, as you described this match, I was like, I remember hating this. I remember hating this match a lot more than I do right now as he describes it. And that's because I realized with your recap, there is no fucking Jack Perry trying to be charismatic ass commentary. What the fuck? Yo! That's what I get. That's what I get for fucking. I jumped off the bandwagon last week. I was like, maybe Jack he's improved. Clearly he's improved. He stinks. Holy shit. He's only giving his punch in the face. Otherwise, he's fucking terrible. I gotta be honest. Post match is fine. That was fun. But like having listened to all that talking. Wait. I'm not gonna shit on Dax. I do like his promos, but come on, man. Enough.
They all do fit a theme. My family, I love that. Said Dax promos all sound the same. My family, wrestling, God, my daughter.
My daughter hit like a sip.
My daughter. Those are the four pillars of FTR's character: family, wrestling, God, and more family.
And no, I don't want him to fucking shit on the place he works. Just shut the fuck up. That's all. Just shut the fuck up. I don't need to know you love working here. Can you imagine you work with somebody every time you shut up, motherfucker, say, I love working here? Like, nigga, just get to work. Unpack the fucking boxes. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, sorry.
Kid Potato says this Washington crowd was fucking awesome all show. Way better than those dog shit Canadian fans. Stay out of that shithole country, TK. For the love of God, keep it to Toronto. Toronto was great. Yeah, I will say. Toronto was great. I agree. Some of the other Canadian shows they've had as like the crowd hasn't been all that, but the show also hasn't been all that. So
Appreciate
we got a super chat donation here from Tyrone Kid. Thank you so much, Tyrone. We appreciate the support.
Because he wants me to work with pricks constantly. That's what it is.
Nevertheless,
Tyrone says percentage chance we get Kendrick versus Drake songs at Anarchy in the Arena. Zero.
Yeah. Sorry.
You got your reference. You got your reference last week to Kendrick and Drake. You got it on WWE, but you see WWE just kept the use of the song to like a social media post. I don't think that AEW is going to take it further and put it a part of their next pay-per-view. Even though if they do, I mean,
it'd be cool for a little bit. If I was getting paid millions, I'd be doing tricks on it for my company. Well, you know what? Thank you, sir. Tell me yourself. This coon ass motherfucker. You know he was house nigga. You know he was out there snitching. I'm trying to finish it, by the way. That's a really good impression. I can hear it in my Dax voice. Don't just love AEW. We're the best. That's how I provide for my family.
For my family, for my daughter, and South Carolina, North Carolina. We got King Potato. He says, Jack talking so calmly for being a heel element left my ass off. I don't know what that was. The best part was the Woo energy bit.
Yeah, the talking part was hard.
Because Shivani sold it like it was legit a shoot. Like he was pissed.
I'm sure he's not a fan of Jack. I mean, do we think Jack wasn't curse people out?
I wish Jack would have been like, you fucking snitch. He said you're stewed. But he said you snitch.
You should have snitch. It's fucking hilarious. This is all your fault.
Snitch bitch. Elizabeth says, remember, Tony Khan should know better not to book shows in Canada while there's a hockey season and playoffs. Valid.
There is that.
Valid.
Yeah. With fucking hockey. Yeah.
They really are. But Edmonton was not that bad last week. We said that last week. Edmonton was not that bad. Even though they had other things on their mind. They weren't that bad. They were into the actual show.
Gotcha.
We got another super chat donation from the good brother Will Chisholm once again. Thank you so much, Will. We appreciate it.
Go.
He says, I do roll my eyes when I hear Edge and Mercedes say, I'm here for the fans. No, you're not. You're here because WWE didn't give you the money you wanted.
God damn, you break it down like that.
Damn.
Though Edge seemed like he really wanted to.
No, but yeah, like Edge was getting offered a big money contract. I think from all his interviews, he said that AEW and WWE were offering pretty much similar type of deals, but AEW was where he could actually wrestle, and they wanted to use him more on a full-time basis, like he's looking for to finish out his career. While WWE just wanted to continue doing the, hey, Edge, you're here for 2 months for this, then we're gonna have an injury angle, and then bring you back 3 months later. That was all they did for those 3 years that he came back to WWE.
Yeah, it was not very good. No offense, sorry. There's a lot of who to blame, but it just wasn't very good. And yeah, I'm not a fan of anybody fucking says it. Punk is one of the greatest talkers ever. He couldn't make that shit interesting. Like, oh my fucking God, you're home. I really don't give a fuck, sir. No disrespect. I really could not give a fuck.
Love it.
Here for you.
Bro says, was Edmonton the show where we almost got a titty in the first minute of the show? That wasn't too bad. Yes, it was. That was last week. With the guy that pulled the lady's top off in the first minute of the show.
Oh my God, that motherfucker's a record. Is that the one? Is that the one Saraya kicked out? Like, is that the
oh yeah. Where Saraya called the two guys creeps, and then the two creeps got later on kicked out because they were saying a whole bunch of OD shit during the Sky Blue match.
They were on one. All right, go ahead. Props Edmonton.
It's just like, you got us here when there's a hockey game on? No, we're going to be burned.
Right?
They were on one. We go backstage to Renee Paquette. She is backstage with Tony Storm, who I am now calling Timeless John Moxley, because every time she gets a 2-minute backstage promo, hits it out the park. Luther and Mariah May are with her, as she told them that Luther, Mariah May, and Saraya were all banned from ringside for her grudge match later against Harley Cameron. Storm said that if they want to hurt Mariah May, she says, my ovaries are on overload, so I have a lot to say. That's how she started off her promo. She says that if you want to mess and hurt Mariah May, they'll have to answer to the bosom she clings to. Now I'm gonna drag your womb all over town. She says,
what?
Yes, she said all this stuff. What Serena did to her last week, she wants to thank her, because if she didn't knock her out, she would have had to listen to the rest of her sob story. She said that when they get to Double or Nothing, she's going to end up like everyone does in Vegas, flat on her back with an ass in her face, feeling like a loser. And she says that what it says for Las Vegas is that it's all chin, tits, and shoe. And Mariah May was looking damn good here and looking very much horny for Tony Storm.
Okay. Wow.
I enjoyed this promo.
Clearly. You and Swerve both. This was fine. Tony Storm was fine here. She's always fine. Always the one. Mariah was good. I will say, Tony definitely seems to have found her groove as far as these promos go. Definitely seems to have found it. I'm here for it.
She's like, she just says the most outlandish thing. She says my ovaries. She started off the promo with my ovaries are on overload.
Bars.
We got Big Man Dogs. It says this promo sounded like an AI generated promo about motherhood, but it was good.
That's a good way to put it. She feels 1950 AI. These things don't go together. What the fuck are you babbling about, ma'am? Tin shoes? What? Ma'am.
Shin shoe.
Take a nap.
He's so great. Some folks have been tired of her gimmick. This is the best she's been. Yeah.
Oh,
It's just by far. We got King Potato says, bro, she called Harley a whore. Like my fucking asshole. Tony is so unhinged. She really is, though.
Did we get a Harley match last week?
Yeah, we did. Her and Mariah May. And then they jumped Mariah May after the matchup.
So they put her in this match.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a good idea, but we'll get to that. This was the point of the show where we did the Malachi Black promo, and then next we had the Hook signal as Hook was back, and he went one-on-one with Sebastian Wolf. If you don't know that name, it's for good reason, because this match was less than a minute. T-Bone Zublex sent Wolf flying as Hook got some crossface strikes and then sank in the Red Rum for a quick win here. Hook takes the mic from Justin Roberts post-match and said that he's here for the FTW Championship and Chris Jericho calling him out. Jericho comes out with the biggest shit-eating grin on his face as he waves and gives finger guns to the fans, and even Bill is doing it now. Oh my God, Bill's got a fucking blazer on. Chad said this makes him want to vomit. Jericho said it's great to have Hook back, but hopefully he learned a lesson after hitting himself in the face with a baseball bat. Jericho said he's so happy to be here, even if he has to share the ring with someone else. He's always happy to be on Dynamite. He says that Jericho says that the spotlight should be on Jericho, and Hook agrees. He says that he wants the FTW title back tonight, but Jericho says that this isn't a fighting moment. It's a teaching moment, as the world doesn't revolve around Hook. That's why this title is the For the World Championship. He should think of others and be less selfish like Chris Jericho. And the best part of this whole promo came next as the fans started to basically drown out Jericho with please retire chants. And Jericho immediately answers them back and says, yes, I know you guys want me to retire so I can be inducted into every Hall of Fame possible, but I'm not ready for that, and neither are you. That
God damn.
Swerve. He's probably been working on that for weeks.
Oh, certainly. Certainly.
Jericho said, when one loses a title, you must build your way back up. And he brings up a qualification match on Collision this week. And maybe if Hook wins, he can get a shot at some point. Hook says that sounds great. But then he says he legitimately bonks Jericho right in the head, I think with the wrong part of the mic, because Jericho got split open on the top of his head. Oh my God, he immediately starts attacking Jericho. Big Bill gives them the numbers advantage until Kazuchika Okada comes out to make the save. Jericho complains to the cameraman. He says, look what he did to me. Look what he did to me. And then later on in the night, we get a backstage interview as Renee meets with Hook and Kazuchika Okada. She asks if the numbers game is becoming too much for him against Chris Jericho to Hook. Hook said that the numbers game doesn't matter. He'll beat who he has to in order to get another shot at Hook. Shibata holds up his phone and asks if that means even him, because he wants another shot at Jericho too. Hook said that if that's how it's going to be, so be it. And they both agree. They get in each other's face when Samoa Joe comes in. And I was very interested by this. I was like, oh, okay, Joe's here. He walks in and he starts laughing. saying that he thought that Hook had some promise, that he was going to be the next badass here. But Jericho has him looking like a damn fool. Joe said that he saw something in Hook, but maybe he was wrong, and he walks off. Hook is pissed off and yells that he'd fight Joe, he'd fight Shibata. Shibata then holds up his phone and drops a great one-liner saying that he's way too large to be wearing a floral print.
It's crazy.
That was great. What did you think about all of this? The Jericho promo, the Hook squash, and then the backstage promo with Hook, Shibata, and Samoa Joe. If this leads to some type of maybe a partnership between like Joe taking Hook under his wing, I think that would be the best way to go.
I don't even hate that as an idea, but no more. I'm over AEW and mentor storylines.
Daddy daycare, yeah.
Yes, Jericho's at 100. I don't need him. I'm just kind of over it. Shibata trailer is hilarious. Jericho is hilarious. Hook to me felt. First of all, he looks different. What happened? He fucking shaved his face. What's going on there?
I think he hasn't got a haircut in a while.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The last time they saw each other, it didn't end on good terms, did it? I thought Jericho took his belt.
Jericho took his belt and hit him in the face with a bat.
How does this fucking resume with us having a conversation? What is the conversation to be? This is a terrible idea.
To be fair, I understand why Hook didn't immediately attack him because he did have a 7-foot monster behind him. So
7-foot monster? It's Big Bill. He gets dog walked regularly. It's Big Bill. Go over there and handle it. Jesus.
We got Alexander says, why does Taz sound more pissed off at Jericho than Hook? That is a true point. That is a good point.
I gotta be fair about this too, by the way. No, listen, I don't like Jungle Boy at all, and I like Hook a lot, but I gotta be fair about this. Hook's not much better at talking.
That's why their feud bombed. That's why they're feud bombed. Like, it is what it is. Power Driver Finisher says the learning tree has been watered regularly and soon to become a grand oak tree filled with knowledge and WWE isms from Jericho. No, I don't need the WWE isms because that feels too much like Jericho Appreciation Society. I just want him to be this over the top, pandering to the fans, babyface while he is obviously a heel. I think that it's some of Jericho's best work. I've been thoroughly enjoying it, and I've said for a month now, I feel like he has been able to take the reaction, the visceral reaction he got at Dynasty, and then translate it into a new character.
Sure. It's not where I thought you were going. I thought whenever I hear Jericho's going to take something and then translate it to somebody else, I always think of his NDAs, and then it makes me laugh. Sorry. Jesus. Keep yourself wrapped up at all times, sir. You're a 56-year-old man. Or fucking old drawer. That 24-year-old's not interested. Fucking Drake. Sorry. He just isn't.
Dog says the post-show promos, Jericho said he was proud of Hook for hitting him because it means he's learning his lessons.
Oh my God. This is fucking fantastic. I'm sorry. I know some hate it. It's just hilarious.
I saw somebody who was like on Twitter who's obviously doesn't like it, and he was like, "Oh man, it's weird that there's a few AEW stans that are trying to get over how great this Jericho character is." I was like, "No, maybe it's just you don't like it, and they do." Like, I mean, it's okay. It's okay that you don't like it. I think that's the point. That's the point. I think he knows that this is not going to get a 100% positive reaction from everybody, but I think that he has been able to take the very negative X-Pac heat and then translate it into genuine heat.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we said the Wizard, right? It's probably his last good work, or the ROH title run.
Yeah, the Ocho ROH title run.
It's been a while. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna fucking take this if you don't mind. Clearly.
Yo, much better than him trying to be a babyface. Much better. Power Driver Finisher says, bro, the Jericho post interview was hilarious. He's like, it hurts, but it's a good thing.
Oh my god, it's so weird. That's also a Jericho and Drake line.
what they tell their lovers or victims. Anyway, Alexander says Shibata cooked Joe. We got Alexander. He said Joe versus Jericho. Winner gets custody of Hook. I might be down.
I don't know.
I might be down for this if it's a trio, a badass trio led by Joe.
How many fucking groups do we have in this place? So many groups here. They don't even fight with each other. They just hang out. What the fuck?
Exactly. True heel heat. That's what Jericho has right now.
God. That's true.
Next up, we get Swerve Strickland. He's got an interview first before his matchup against Brian Cage, getting some revenge on them turning on him in the Mogul Embassy. He talks about how Washington, he finally brought a world title back to them, and now he puts the final nail in the coffin of Mogul Embassy after he beat down Gates of Agony on Collision on Saturday. And this led into our next matchup of Swerve Strickland versus Brian Cage in an AEW World Title Eliminator matchup. Strickland wasted no time attacking right at the bell, charging with double knees. He low-bridged Cage to the outside and tried for a dive, but Cage was able to catch him in a suplex position. Strickland landed on the apron and hit a pump kick before delivering a big double stomp to the arm. And that became really his focus of the matchup, going after the arm of Cage. Cage would keep him on his back foot various times with his power and strength. He wanted a suplex off the apron, but Strickland was able to snap the arm on the rope and then did a rolling flatliner in the ring for a near fall. Cage pressed Strickland over his head and slammed him right into the corner, gaining control of the matchup. When we come back from commercial break, he hits the apron superplex for a 2 count. Strickland dodged a power bomb, sent Cage into the corner. He hit a big haluva kick to the back of the head. Both traded shots for a while. Then Strickland eventually hits a big reverses a Weapon X into a short arm scissors, but they fight to the apron where Cage goes for the drill call, but Strickland is able to fire off an uppercut and a big headbutt to the jaw. Cage falls to the apron where he's hung up on the bottom rope, and Swerve delivers a swerve stomp right to Cage, sending him to the ringside area. He comes back inside and hits a 450 splash for a near fall. He goes for the big pressure, but Cage is able to reverse into a pop-up power bomb for a near fall. Cage again wanted the drill call, but Strickland kept fighting out of it. He eventually does a running double foot stomp for what looks like a near fall, but then he transitions right into snapping the arm in a vicious manner. And then in his home state of Washington, he ends the matchup with the house call for the 1-2-3. I thought this was a damn good matchup. I thought these guys had the crowd invested, and one of, I would say, Swerve's best match on Dynamite since becoming AEW World Champion. And the match made sense because of last week with the turn. Post-match, I think, was even better, though. Swerve is celebrating the victory. He then goes outside and gets 2 chairs. He looks like he's going to do a concerto to Cage on his injured arm when Christian Cage's music hits. He walks out with Mother Wayne. As Swerve is distracted, Nick Wayne comes from behind and low blows Swerve. Killswitch hits the ring and hits a big pump kick on Swerve. Nick Wayne then shows off a family portrait of Strickland and his family, and in the same home state of Washington that Swerve 9 months ago invaded Nick Wayne's home gym to attack him and hit him over the head with a portrait of his family, busting him open. So Nick Wayne was able to get revenge with the help of his new father, Christian Cage, smashing the portrait of Swerve's family over his head, splitting him open. Then we get Christian Cage just being the best villain in professional wrestling. He tells Strickland that he embarrassed him. He embarrassed his son last year by attacking him in Washington in a similar manner. He has now forced him to embarrass Strickland, and he asked him if his daughter was proud of her absentee father, which got a lot of oohs from the crowd. Cage then took the photo and wiped Strickland's blood over his family's photo. And he says tonight he took Strickland's blood, and at Double or Nothing, he takes the AEW World Championship. I said from the start, Christian Cage, just let him cook. Just let him cook. I know a lot of y'all did not like this as the first choice for Swerve's first pay-per-view challenger, but I knew with Christian Cage, he's going to put his creativity mind to it, and I think that he's done a good job of building himself up, and I don't want Swerve to get any type of revenge before Double or Nothing. I need another week of Christian Cage getting the better of Swerve next week and taking something else.
I'm all for a vulnerable champion. That would make 4 weeks in a row get his ass kicked. Would it not? It's a lot of weeks. It's a lot of weeks. It's like a month worth of weeks. Match is really good. Match of the night, we'll see. But I thought it was really good. Cage is always fun. Was underutilized. I'll say these days, probably about where he should be. And listen, Swerve is a star. Is he booked perfectly? Oh, certainly not. Is he booked well?
I think so.
I'll take it. It's Christian. It's Swerve. The feud's going to be fun. I will take it. Take it for what it is.
Yeah, it was like weird. It was like a broken faucet, the way Swerve was bleeding. It was like he was leaking blood, like someone turned on like a broken faucet, like the faucet that comes up with a little bit of water but doesn't have the free flow. And then it was only like on the side of his head, wasn't it? The blood?
Yes.
Like just over his eye. Yeah. So we got Ace. He says one of Brian Cage's best matches. We also got King Potato, who says Christian Cage is the best heel in the business. It's him or Drew McIntyre right now. For me. And Okada.
Yeah. You can't be giving us many points for smiling, bro. We can't be giving us many points for smiling, bro. With Christian and fucking McIntyre. No, I'm not mad at those picks. Those are solid picks.
And wow. I'm not even going to read that. We got a commercial. We got a commercial for AEW's newest show on TBS's YouTube. It's going to be hosted by Renee Paquette and RJ City, a meal and a match, where they sit down with one of the AEW stars and they have a meal and watch one of their best matches during their time in AEW. So a new show coming to the TBS YouTube channel for AEW, furthering their relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery in some type of way here. But
yeah, I suppose. That is technically accurate, yes.
That's technically accurate. Next up, we get Timeless Tony Storm going one-on-one with Harley Cameron. After an aggressive start by Cameron, Storm was able to work a headlock takeover before Cameron gained control with knee strikes. I really complimented Harley last week because I thought the match with Mariah May was going to be really bad, and I was like, it showed that Mariah May is a really good wrestler and maybe one of the best workers. And I've said for weeks that I felt like Timeless Tony Storm's working boots were found by Azumi on that matchup at Collision. She had a great match with Thunder Rosa at Revolution. The streak ended here. It was very slow. It was a very slow matchup, and Serena Deeb, I don't know if she was the right choice to be the challenger for Timeless Tony Storm right now, because it seems like the company is flirting with her being a babyface, but she is currently feuding with a babyface. So it just leads to this weird dynamic where it doesn't seem like this build is connecting with me. Like she comes out on stage after that promo from Timeless Tony Storm, and she just holds her flag, does nothing, and just watches as Timeless Tony Storm hits Storm Zero to pick up the victory here. Deeb stares down with Storm with a smile on her face as Storm told her to piss off. I'm just not really sure how Serena Deeb could be viewed as the babyface with the crowd loudly supporting Storm throughout her matchups, and Deeb's appearance led to the heel Cameron getting the upper hand in this matchup. So it just there's something not connecting here.
Yeah,
like, we were able to reverse course and get things back on track with the other women's feud, but now this one is more glaring the problems here.
Yeah, because the main piece is the one that's fucked up. Toni Storm's not a heel. She just isn't. Sorry. Well, maybe in her, like, the way she behaves, she's a heel, but, like, as far as the crowd is concerned, they're not. She's a babyface. You start having her do babyface shit, what do you think's gonna happen? Fucking if I was already half over, what's her face? Who's the Italian chick feuding with Thunder Rosa now? Deonna.
Oh, Deonna Purrazzo. Yeah,
it's the same shit every time. Here comes person against Toni Storm. Toni Storm is more popular. Therefore, people are silent for the fucking matches. I'm sorry.
And I think for me, it was the fact that I watched the fight. I was watching the fight version of the show live, so there was no commercial breaks. And they had the one spot where I knew there was a commercial break because commentary was like, "Oh, we got a commercial break," but it kept going. And oh my God, she couldn't do the basically the run to the corner and your opponent backdrops you to the apron. They had to do it twice because she didn't do it right the first time. And I was like, okay, this match is what I expected last week.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he thought he can get slick, get another match at Harley Cameron. He thought it would work out. Listen, I'm not mad at the swing, but this is probably closer to what you're gonna get from now on. Sorry.
I don't agree with this though. King Potato saying they need to just get to Mariah versus Toni already. I'm getting bored of the build up to their feud. Let's just get to it. I'm getting bored of the Serena Deeb thing. I think they're doing the right thing with pacing as far as time with Toni Storm and Mariah, as far as I'm concerned.
I guess I agree with both of you. I'm not mad at the Mariah and Toni stuff. There's just nobody interesting for fucking Toni to fight while that stuff's going on, which is the issue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We also got Eric Isaac, who says AEW got too many heel women pretending to be faces: Serena, Deonna, and Mercedes. The last two have turned heel, basically. Like they haven't had the heel turn moment. Well, Deonna did in the matchup with Thunder Rosa, where she attacked her after the matchup. She's a heel now. Mercedes has been definitely presented as a heel the past 3 weeks.
Yes, she has. She's definitely been presented as a heel for the last 2 weeks. She presents herself as a heel all the time, but they presented her as a heel for the last 2 weeks. Yes.
Finally, they match what she's putting out. When she's putting out, they finally matched it. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that just Serena just is better as a heel. Just
what's the pay-per-view when she fights?
No, I was like, after she bombed that promo about her seizures, it was just like I would have reversed course.
Jesus, that fast? You gotta make it through this match with Toni Storm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's gonna happen. You didn't have any plans for deep after this anyway, so just let it play out. Sorry, Serena, they don't fuck with you like that. Yeah, sorry. What was the match with her and Rio had at a pay-per-view? I think it was followed by
Double or Nothing.
Page, yeah. Oh,
yes. Double or Nothing 2021. Yeah.
That match is fire.
Still to this day, I think it's like top 2, top 3 buy-in matches they've ever had. Deeb and Riho.
I remember thinking, holy shit, this is amazing. I can't believe how much I love heel Serena Deeb. Fantastic.
And I think that was before she actually turned heel too. I think that was like the first time they like had her against the baby. Yeah.
She was fucking her legs up. She was amazing.
Arkady Aura, our new backstage commentator, is backstage for a face.
We acknowledge how much that name stinks. Is that a real name? It can't be.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. She's backstage for a face-to-face interview between the AEW International Champion Roderick Strong and Will Osprey, who said Will Osprey says he's got a sour taste in his mouth after what happened to himself, courtesy of Shane Taylor on Collision. He says that you're going to let Shane Taylor just come in and then you and your Bellins are going to stand over me. And Matt Taven says, what's a Bellin? He says, Bellin 1, Bellin 2, jacked up Bellin. Osprey said he's tired of how confident Strong is around him. He says that it's only due to being surrounded by the Undisputed Kingdom. Osprey said that Strong doesn't respect him no matter where they've competed around the world. It could be Ring of Honor, PWG. He says that you've never respected me or liked me, and thus I haven't respected you back. Strong said that that's the smartest thing Osprey has ever said. As Osprey might have a woman and a child now, but he's still a child himself, not having to deal with the adversity that Strong has had to endure. He will expose Osprey as a fraud. And Osprey said that no longer can Strong badmouth him like he did in Ring of Honor years ago, where he used to bury me to all the ROH boys. He'll show at Double or Nothing while he's the best wrestler in the world. I loved Will bringing up that that Strong is just confident because he's retired the Storm Driver, but he has other weapons to destroy him with. I thought this was a really great back and forth, intense promo that added a emotional element, a personal element to their title match coming up at Double or Nothing. And it was very much akin to me to Osprey's promo before the Jericho match at All In, where I was not as invested into the story there. And then Osprey talked and I was, and here I was like that. It was like instantly I got more interested in seeing this matchup.
You loved this from the start. I had to rewatch it. Still didn't love it. Sorry. It's a good promo, but you're not fucking getting me. I don't care. The Rock got this promo. I'm not getting interested in the match with Roger Strong. It's just not gonna happen. Sorry. I just listen. He's always been a great wrestler. He was fun here for a while. This Undisputed thing is a joke, and we need to get this belt off of Roger Strong, or acknowledge that it's a quaternary ass championship. It's not even a tertiary championship. It's certainly not a secondary championship. Quaternary ass championship. Sorry.
I just needed, the only thing I thought that was missing here is I still need Osprey to explain to us why he wants this title. Like, I still need that. That's the only thing that I felt was missing here.
Yeah, well, you know, this title was originally supposed to be this, that, and the third, bruv. And now it's this, bruv, so I want it. Sure. Right.
Yeah, it's simple. It doesn't have to be that long. Like and he kind of, it's like at the end of this promo, he was like setting himself up to kind of say it, but didn't. He was like, I'm internationally known as the best wrestler in the world, and now I want to be internationally known as the international champion. I would have took that. I would have said, okay, you gave us a reason why. Like, you gave us a reason why. Okay. Like I just want something.
Listen.
It's got my country's flag. It's the only AEW title that has my country's flag on it.
Oh.
I get to represent my country as international champion.
I would love for Osprey to have a fucking Lance Storm ass WCW run. It just feels right to me. It just does.
Like collecting belts? Yeah.
Just collecting belts. It just feels right to me. What was I going to say? Do you have any update on Adam Cole?
No. We did get an update on Jamie Hayter, which was basically that there's no update. That when she got injured in 2023, they knew she would be gone for the rest of 2023, but they haven't got any like official update on when she's going to be returning, which is never a good thing.
No, that's usually not great news. Like, shit is going so great, we don't have an update for you. That's typically not how that goes. God damn it, I'm so concerned.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be that bad, can it? It
Yeah.
can't be that. Yeah,
King Potato says Osprey's promo work since joining AEW has been nothing short but great. Calling Wardlow a big veiny bellend was funny as fuck. Yes.
He's somebody who put in, and then fucking Osprey's been somebody who's always put in the work. Then he's fucking really shored up all the shit he wasn't very good at. And now it's all paying gigantic dividends. I'm just shocked by this. See what happens when the wrestlers listen to the elder statesman. Ah, well. Next time.
There you go. He listened. Who did he listen to? He says it in every interview he does. Chris Jericho. He was a part of the learning tree.
The learning tree. Ain't this a bitch?
TBS championship contract signing was next. Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné are out here. Nightingale came out second and told Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander that she got this and left them at the stage. I did notice that Stokely seemed a little bit more upset than Chris Statlander at this, so maybe some foreshadowing. Paquette says that there's so much history between the two of them, but also it will be the AEW debut of Moné at Double or Nothing. Nightingale said that she respects Moné, but does Moné respect the TBS championship? The title celebrates professional wrestling on this very channel and a legacy built of fighting and dedication, something every woman who has held that title represents. Now Nightingale is the face of TBS and said throughout all the doom and gloom, her smile is her strength, and that's why this title means so much to her. Nightingale said that she's never going to allow Moné to take that away from her and signs the contract to Willow Chance. Moné, who is getting her share of boos from the crowd this week, laughs at Willow bringing up legacy. Moné brought up in 2015 while Nightingale was training, she was changing the game forever. Moné talked about breaking down doors and glass ceilings, as Nightingale wouldn't be here without her. Moné respects Nightingale as a champion, but there's a difference between being great and being the greatest of all time. Moné struts around and gets more boos as she talks about all of her recent appearances in the front row at the Boston Celtics game, throwing out the first pitch at the Red Sox game, and she says that's what a CEO does. Moné said her legacy is all about winning and then signs the contract. Willow gets up from her chair and brought up the last time that they wrestled. She walked out a champion while Moné didn't walk out at all. Like, that might have been the toughest line Willow Nightingale has said. And I saw a Lyric Wrestling on Twitter who compared it to Swerve saying, "What's a kill shot to a buckshot?" And I was like, yeah, this is kind of on that like just throw it right back in your face. We get Moné slapping Nightingale across the face. She then takes the TBS title and poses with it. She tries for a belt shot, but Nightingale dodges it and then hits the Babe with the power bomb through a table, to the crowd erupting in an ovation as Mercedes Moné does her first bump in AEW. This is the first time anybody's done any type of offense on Mercedes Moné since signing 2 months ago. Referees and doctors rushed to the ring and check on Moné, who was clutching her back while Nightingale was smiling on the stage. I thought that this was great. This was probably my favorite of the build so far between these two ladies. Willow is just gaining so much confidence. She's gaining so much confidence, it seems like, on the mic. Like, little by little, week after week, the more mic time she gets, I'm like really considering what you said last week, that Willow might be one of the best promos of the female roster in AEW.
Thank you. I agree. She's really good. She's taken to this like a fish to water, as they say. I'm shocked at how good her promos are, considering she didn't have them rather consistently before this. This whole segment was great. You said the best they've had. Oh, certainly, relative ease. Another Mercedes. Listen, the more she acts like a complete dickhead, the more it appears to be very natural. I'm not accusing her of anything. All I'm saying is Triple H, Vince, Randy Orton. Just saying, they all seem to be more comfortable being dickheads. This is great. This was listen, I thought it was my bias talking before. I don't think so. You keep the belt on Willow. She beats Mercedes, and then you can do the turn afterwards. You keep Willow's doing too well for you to blow this up.
I mean, I like this idea. Elbow front. Alexander says, "Hear me out. Camille makes her debut at Double or Nothing, helps Mercedes win, and that will be her muscle moving forward." I think that if it's that, or if it's like Megan Bain, or even Willow, Mercedes taking Statlander and Stokely away from Willow, I think that Mercedes needs someone to play off of with this heel character.
I have moved beyond the listen. I know she's gobbles up a big portion of our fucking paycheck of our roster.
Or budget.
I got budget, thank you. But if you gotta listen. I know you paid what's his name, Matt Flynn. You paid Matt Flynn all that fucking money to play in Seattle. You signed Russell Wilson. Turns out Russell Wilson's the better guy. It doesn't matter how much we're spending. I know we spent all this money on Mercedes. I understand that. I understand that as a concept. So I have to kind of pay attention to what's going on with her. But Willow is better at, I'm not going to say everything, but everything before the ring part. And we'll see how that goes.
We'll see. I think Mercedes should win here, but this should be the setup for the rematch, where I've seen people say, be on this whole mission of Willow and Mercedes should be the main event of Double or Nothing. I don't agree with that at all. I think that this feud only got good like 2 weeks ago, when they legitimately started presenting Mercedes as a heel. It doesn't feel like the hottest program. It's not getting the most focus. So I think it would be a mistake to make it the main event. But if they have a great match here, and it sets up Mercedes full-on heel turn, whether it be someone helping her, Chris turning and joining up with her, or just her cheating to win, I think that the rematch will be bigger, and that's the one you main event a pay-per-view with. And I think in the rematch, Willow wins.
Why? Wait, come on. A couple things. First things first. What were we just talking about? Well, just you threw me with fucking the rematch Willow wins. You told me something right before that. What was it? Main eventing in general. Listen, fucking the Bucks are main eventing pay-per-view. Can we agree with this? The Anaheim Arena. We won't just say the Bucks forcing their way into a main event, like a significantly less talented Hulk Hogan or Triple H. Whatever, it's okay. And after that, it should be Swerve. I mean, obviously, I don't see how you can justify a Willow Mercedes main event. At all, even a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah. Like I get. You want an AEW first ever women's main event, but like, this hasn't been the build for it, just to me
at all. Yeah, it's not like Mercedes is fucking. I'm trying to think who I would do this with. I don't think I have anybody I would do this with. Like, it's just not over Swerve and not over all the fucking build that the Elite have given themselves. I love how we're all okay with this.
Yep. We got King Potato that says, well, Willow is the face of the women's division. If she does lose to Mercedes, she needs to move on to the women's title. In my opinion, she could take that title as far as Jamie took it.
Well, Jamie Hater only got like a few weeks of being Jamie Hater. Then he made her a fucking Soraya's, whatever the fuck. Soraya and bread and all sort of goofy ass shit. I'm sorry, getting depressed again. Focus. Positive vibes. Positive vibes.
King Potato says the build doesn't justify the main event spot, in my opinion. 100%.
No.
100%.
No.
But yes. Because next up was the main event of the show, Kazuchika Okada defending the AEW Continental Championship against FTR's Dax Harwood. No FTR, no Elite at ringside for this one, since it was done under Continental rules. Harwood quickly looked for a sharpshooter in the early going, which would become kind of a part of the story of the matchup. Him continuously trying to get the sharpshooter on, but Okada showing his leg strength and avoiding it. Okada gained control, but it took too long to follow up as Harwood started firing off some some stiff chops, redding up the chest of Okada. On the outside, Okada gained the advantage with a Hangman's DDT on the floor. Harwood just got back into the ring in time to break the count. Okada delivered wanted the count out win, but Harwood broke it up. Okada looked for the Rainmaker, but Harwood collapsed. Okada just laughed and told the referee to check him, and then he picked him back up to try again, but Harwood dodged it and fired off some rolling German suplexes. Harwood delivered a great-looking dragon suplex with Okada landing right on the back of his neck. He tried for the sharpshooter again, but Okada kicked out of it. Harwood flew back into the corner and looked like he hit his head hard, the back of his head hard on the hardest part of the ring. Harwood wanted a power driver, but Okada smoothly transitioned that into an air raid crash neck breaker. Okada took too long to follow up, so Harwood cut him off on the top rope and hit a big superplex. We get knees and a trading of headbutts, forearms, chops. Okada tries for the discus lariat, but Harwood connects with one of his own first. Okada floated over, both traded near falls before Harwood hit a nice looking tombstone for a near fall. He went to the top rope and went for a diving headbutt, but Okada was able to move out the way. Okada went for the Rainmaker, but Harwood swept the legs and finally got on the sharpshooter. Due to Okada's size, he was able to get to the ropes and immediately break up the pinfall. Okada grabbed the Continental Championship, but Harwood threw him back into the ring. So Okada tosses the title as Bryce Resberg goes to put the title away. Okada low blows Harwood using the ropes, then hits the Rainmaker for the 1-2-3. Okada retains the AEW Continental Championship. Post-match, the Elite hit the ring and pounce on Harwood. Bryan Danielson and Cash Wheeler sprint out only to be beaten down by the Elite as well. The numbers were too much for them. But then the music of Darby Allin hits in his home state of Washington. Darby appears behind the Elite and smashes them with his skateboard. Allin and Perry start brawling. The crowd is erupting like crazy for the hometown boy as the baby faces stand tall. The Elite bail, and it is made official that Darby Allin will replace Eddie Kingston in Anarchy in the Arena for Team AEW as he teams with FTR and Bryan Danielson to verse Jack Perry, the Young Bucks, and Kazuchika Okada on May 26th in Las Vegas. I really enjoyed the main event matchup. I thought it was a damn good matchup between Dax and Okada. I'm always shaky with Okada singles matches on TV because he could give us no effort or little effort. This was just medium effort. It was a good matchup because of that, in my opinion. And I thought the post-match was a lot of fun and gave us 4 straight weeks of the closing segment with this Elite storyline, really delivering what felt like an exciting end to the show.
I got you, Blasphemous. You know I like Okada. And I do like Dax. This match did not hit for me. I don't know what it was. But like compared to some of the earlier matches, namely Swerve and Cage, I'm just like, what the fuck is moving in slow motion? What the fuck is going on here?
That's Dax's style. He does more of like the old school, drawn out 80s style.
I love a good drawn out 80s match. I've loved most of Dax's matches. This is sorry, wasn't it? What was I say? First, the post match. Post match was fun. Darby is indestructible, fucking apparently. Didn't he get hit
Still got hit by a bus 2 weeks ago. He broke his foot 2 months ago.
He's not gonna last long, but he's never blast why he does it. What the fuck is going on?
He had a bandage on his nose. Like
Jesus, I hope he's all right. Whatever. Hey, share life. Do what you want.
Hey, I literally asked you after the show. I was like, "What's the over/under on Darby freaking getting injured in this matchup?" He got injured waiting under the ring for this final segment. When Harwood hits the superplex on Okada, he said a beam hit him in the head under the ring.
Is this the most lucky motherfucker ever? What? Yeah, I don't know what about. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a Dax singles match, and we know he's not gonna win those. So.
Yeah, unless it's against Tommy Billington.
What the fuck are we doing? Poor fucking Collision.
Hey,
You
it was
guys
a
not
good
gonna believe me,
match.
but
It was a
it
good
was
match.
the best show on TV for a while. By TV, I mean
Hey,
wrestling.
it's been a good TV show this year.
I mean, you don't really have any evidence. Only you and 2 other people saw it.
I mean, this week's show, you got a point. You got a point. We got Joe Pearl in the chat who says Darby, Homer, Simpson, Allen over here.
It's fucking wild.
John says he's alive, so most unlucky person would be dead already.
Well, you want to be
See,
technical
that's
about this,
that's why
so-
Jimmy said the most lucky person.
Yeah. And if you want to be technical about it, there's always a most unlucky person alive because people are alive. I don't really know what to tell you, sir. There's always somebody. There's always the tallest person in the world. When the tallest person in the world dies, the next guy becomes the tallest person in the fucking world. So the most unlucky person dying will make the next person the most unlucky person.
I will say Big Man Dogs is funny because now I know, even though I talked shit about them earlier, Brian Alvarez watches AEWramble because he's now been talking about how this is an ongoing issue for AEW, knowing the result in advance of the matches. Like he mentioned, he was like BCC versus Top Flight, some matches from he was like OC versus Trent Beretta and Brody versus Copeland. What's the same about all those matches? It was like, you know who's going to win. And he was like, that's the issue with AEW television across Dynamite and Collision is that you know who's going to win most of the time.
Where has this nigga been for 5 years? This is outrageous. I love that. They come with these fucking thoughts like, oh, it's brilliant. I just had, I noticed this brilliant idea I just had. Are you fucking serious? Whatever.
No, you need to tell him he's stealing Jimmy Macram's takes.
Terrible takes. What the fuck? I just noticed something, really. I think Moxley's white. Ah! Thank you, fucking dummy. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, well.
But you like the post match? I know you didn't like Dax and Okada, but did you like the post match?
Post match was fine. I'm ready. Don't know when this elite thing's gonna be over. I know Tony Khan's got to come back. I assume that's next week because he's gonna be there for this fucking his press conference. He's not gonna miss that. Lord knows we'll miss this fucking scrum.
Please. Let's
Now
see,
that him and
let's
Triple
see
H
how it is
have been
without
topping
him.
each other.
Yes.
Oh my god! Please.
Let's see how it is. Let's do a press conference without him. How about that?
Yes.
Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion. Just me. Maybe I'm wrong, but hey. But yes, that brings us to a close on another edition of AEW Dynamite. Let us know in the chat your match of the night, MVP, LVP. What did you give the show out of 10? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle for me and Jimmy Macram. Yo, I'm sorry. That might be the best idea we saw so far.
I won't watch it, but that's pretty fucking clever. That'd be kind of dope, actually.
That would be smart. That would be smart to do. If you're not gonna have TK, yeah, that makes sense. But
Just have fucking what's his face up there? Okada up there making faces.
Let's put our thumbs in the middle for the May 15, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give the show?
Oh, I was leaning 8 last night. And I was leaning 8 before the show started. Then we fucking went through it. Like, how? How can I even justify this being an 8? 7.5. Yeah, I really like that Willow promo.
I will go to full 8. I thought this was an 8 out of 10 show. The parts that really didn't connect for me were few and far between. I thought most of the best segments for the build to Double or Nothing were in this 1 week. Roddy and Osprey, Mercedes and Willow, another good segment in the build up to Anarchy in the Arena. The Christian angle with Swerve. The matchup before that was Swerve's best matchup on Dynamite since becoming AEW World Champion, and the tag team matchup to open the show was really good as well. So I enjoyed most of it. So I give it an 8 out of 10 for me. What was your match of the night?
Swerve and Cage.
I'm going to go with Swerve and Cage as well. MVP for the show.
That is a little more difficult, but since we don't do segment of the night, I'm going with Willow for the MVP.
I will go with Willow and Osprey. I thought their promo works, both of their promo work helped out their build to their matches at the pay-per-view a lot. And LVP, who was your LVP for the show?
Oh, fucking what's his face? Jungle Boy. Did I give MVP last week? I don't think I did. But fucking if I did. Thank God. Ugh.
I'm gonna give it this mostly for kayfabe reasons and the fact that he lost, but I mean Christopher Daniels did lose a job, so yeah, I'll give him LVP this week. We got King Potato who says MVP was Willow. Safet says Willow and Osprey. We also got Ace who says Willow as well. Big Man Dog says Jericho. Jericho was on a streak. He was on a streak after multiple LVPs. He was getting MVPs, and now he had to take a week off. He wasn't the best thing about this show. Chris says Swerve, Christian Cage, and Willow. Yeah, I'll give an honorable mention to Christian Cage for his.
Honorable mention. I love this, by the way. So, you guys get that right at least.
Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, killing Jack Perry right now. But Jimmy, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they'll see you again.
At Jimmy Macram on Twitter and on YouTube. Watch television shows and movies. I don't know when you'll see me again. I'm still feeling the effects of a couple days ago. I don't feel good. I've noticed as the show's going on, I'm just kind of I'm off half step. Okay.
Don't worry, Jimmy will be back to normal next week. But you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat, Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best place to support us when we are not here on the channel, or at foryourwear.com, ProWrestlingTees.com, where you can get your True Hill Heat merchandise. Check out all the great content we have on the channel this week, like our New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence event review, as well as Elite Heat watching last night's AEW Dynamite. I will be back on Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, with the True Hill Heat Flagship podcast. We've had a little light week when it comes to content, but we will surely be back with our flagship on Saturday for sure. But a couple of extra comments to highlight here. Willow MVP says Pedro. We also got Big Man Dogs who says also honorary LVP to Roderick Strong because his reign is ice cold.
I mean, to be fair, what you guys expect? You can have built to Roderick Strong. It's 2024.
Jesus Christ. And then we got LVP from Ace to Christopher Daniels.
Put the bet on Christopher Daniels. He's got a lot left in the tank.
Jimmy Macram. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 146, Darby Anarchy. We are signing off until next time. Later, y'all.